this whole framework of revenue first and consequences later, can you double click? Because when you're talking about velocity, you're pulled into that growth and you don't worry about what will happen maybe 6 months or a year and a half later. Can you, like, what are the things that people need to think through when they're chasing growth for growth?
That's such a good question, because growth at all costs can come at a really high cost, and especially in partnerships. And I think the post you're referring to may have been the one I did on Flock and Amazon, and that partnership not taking into account customer sentiment and how customers and partners would feel about their data being used, and then the customer attrition that ended up causing, I think, the breakup of that partnership. It's a cautionary tale, because in partnerships, so many times it looks like a great idea on paper and the financial models support the partnership, but the soft side, such as customer sentiment, is ignored. Even partner implementation, can they actually follow through and implement the partnership terms, is ignored. And then the things that are not considered are, how do we think about the end of a partnership? For example, in our agreements at Clearbit, we actually thought about this and said, what if the agreement doesn't continue? How do we make sure that the customers are supported and there's an off-ramp support period to make sure there's no downtime for them when they're using these embedded products? Sentiment, customer support after a partnership ends, that, I think, just the customer centricity is often ignored in partnerships, and it needs to be a key piece of both the partnership agreement and also the legal conversation.